Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Gold, and we are live on our Friday with our Week 13 best bets. As always, I am joined by my buddy from the Action Network, Dan Titus. Dan, how we doing today?
Doing great, man. I meant to say that intro music really gets me hyped, man. It's Friday. I'm ready to watch some football, get these bets in, man, get some money. And I'm mad. I don't have like this. Where's your fly shirt at? I know you're repping your Ducks, but like I thought we were doing like the fly shirt Fridays thing.
You know what? It's fucking business day. Pac-12 championship is tonight. We're all about getting this work done. So I'm keeping it professional. I'm keeping it nice. It's still Nike. It's still clean. We still got the logo. We're still keeping it fresh, but it's professional. Utah Utes, you are going to get fucking destroyed tonight. Ducks going to get that third straight Pac-12 championship. Honestly, I was thinking about it for the show. I was like, well, should I go crazy? Because I got a lot of crazy Oregon stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I should get some eye black and put it on and be like, yo, full like, and then I was like,
wartime.
Yeah, it's like, but then I was like, what am I going to do? Get my wife's mascara and put it on my eyes? I didn't really know what to go for. I was like, you know what? Let's just rock the Oregon shirt. Be professional about it. Get this win in a professional manner, just like we're going to do with our best bets this week. We're going to be professional, precise, and get these victories. I can't wait to talk about it. Before we can do that, cool things for Champions Round, and then we'll get to our best bets. 7 stakes contest. We have 3 of them that are live right now. If you go to our Instagram page, you can see all the giveaways for that. Super exciting. Those are almost filled, so if you're going to play, please join those now. And then we are still giving away that Bear surprise box. Just DM us with the phrase "the Bears" for your chance to win those. We will be giving that away on Sunday. That is it for our Champions Round segment of this podcast. Let's get to our best bets. Dan, as always, you're up first. Your number one bet on the board for Week 13 is
the Dolphins -2.5 versus the New York Football Giants. The Giants are going to be traveling to Miami. Just got over a big divisional win over my Birds. No Daniel Jones. It's a Mike Glennon game. But the Dolphins, man, I didn't think we'd expect it, but they're on a 4-game winning streak. I think they get it to 5 here. This is a great spot to bet against the Giants where they got to travel off an emotional victory, sort of, kind of. Their line still sucks. No Kadarius Toney, probably no Sterling Shepard. They're at bare bones right now. So, yeah, I'm riding with the Dolphins. Their defense has been great as of late.
I do not hate that one, especially given it sounds like you got an amazing number out there, 2.5. Most places we're looking at a 4 spot right now. So I totally get it. I originally bet this line. I bet the Giants at +3.5. Thought this was a good spot for them. Then the Daniel Jones news broke. I rebet. I bet the Dolphins at -3 to kind of hedge out a little bit. If it lands on 3, great. But yeah, I got scared off. Obviously, I'll eat the juice on that if it goes one way or another. Look, their injury situation is just really bad. We know this defense can play. It's going to be really low scoring. You can see the total right now. It's 41 or something like that. It's really low right now.
Super low, yeah.
But yeah, I do think that is a good pick. My number one pick of the week. This is all falling the sharp, man. We talked about it on the Wednesday show. I'm going with Washington +2.5. The Raiders in Las Vegas. 87% of the money versus 36% of the bets. A 51% difference on Washington right now. And the fact that 64% of the bets, and we talked about it, there were 90% of the bets on early in the week on Wednesday. The fact that this line has not moved up to 3 tells me everything I need to know in this matchup. I know it's a short week. I know you're traveling across the country, but the Sharps and the books are making a stand on this game that they think that Washington's going to get it done in Vegas, and who am I to tell them no? So it's a little gross. Not loving riding with the football team here, but sometimes you just got to follow the money, baby. So, yeah, give me Washington +2.5.
I like this bet, man, and I switched it up a little bit this week. I actually have 2 teasers as part of my best bet, so they're
2.5 to 8.5, baby. I love that.
Know what I'm saying? Yep. So the Washington football team is one of the teams that I like in this teaser spot. I love them at 8.5, and then the other team I'm going to pair them with for my second best bet is the Birds. I'm going to tease them down to a half a point. They're on the road against the New York Jets, excuse me. But I think this is going to be a bounce back spot for the Birds. The Jets aren't very good. We saw probably the best we're going to see of Zach Wilson. I got it wrong last week. I'm going to get it right this time. I think the Birds are going to come out with a victory. We don't know the status of Jalen Hurts quite yet. I think he's going to give it a go, but this Eagles offense could just run the ball all game against this Jets defense. So I'm expecting them to at least come out with the victory. Love making it a pick 'em. So that alongside with the Washington football team at 8.5, I think we got a solid teaser there.
Okay, so now that you brought up teasers, I'm going to go a little off script too. Why not? We're in the flow of the show. Let's go for it. I had Dallas -1 in every single teaser piece that I had bet so far this week. Somehow that came through. That was great. It was a gross Thursday night game. Not great for my fantasy team, but
you get it done. You're right. You get it done. And your boy Pollard. This is what we've been waiting on. You know what I'm saying?
My boy Pollard. He looked great.
Ezekiel Elliott gets hurt. Now, I mean, he just plays like shit, but he's really playing hurt. But like, feed the man the rock. We see what happens when he makes plays happen, man.
Just a casual 58-yard touchdown run. We love to see it. I wish it would have been a reception. That would have been really good for some prop bets. But yeah, I'll take the touchdown. CeeDee Lamb played well. So still something wrong with Dak. He looks a little off, but we can talk about this game next week when we talk about their line. Right. Anyways, for Dallas, I had -1 4 ways. Washington plus 8.5 was my biggest one. Minnesota -1.5. We talked about that on the Wednesday show. I'm going to get fucked there somehow. We know it's going to happen, but you got to do it. Chargers +9. Just think that's a good number. I think every single game that they play is a one-score game eventually, so I like it at 9. And then the last one, Birds -1.5. I really like this one. And then we're going to go back to my picks for this week. My number 3 pick on the board, I'll skip my number 2 for now, is Philly -6.5. I really think that Hurts is going to play. I think that the Jets are overvalued based on what happened last week. This is a perfect buy low on the Eagles, sell high on the Jets. We still don't believe in Zach Wilson. I think that Hurts is going to play. I think this is a great spot for the Birds to run all over the Jets defense. Give me the Birds -6.5. All the sharps seem to be all over this. We have 63% of the bets and 92% of the money on the Eagles right now. Yeah, I'm flying with the Birds. Let's get it done, baby.
Fly, Eagles, fly. And you mentioned it, so now I guess I might as well just go into my third one, man. You mentioned the Chargers, getting them at +3. Right now, man, I'm going to use this as my other teaser. I'm going to tease them up to +9. As you said, they've been managing to remain relatively close in most of their games. I think this is a good matchup against the Bengals here. And to get 9 points, I think we're going to see a big Austin Eckler type game. And anytime that Justin Herbert can get Mike Williams involved in the game, it's going to bode well for the Chargers. So we've seen the Cincinnati Bengals secondary get beat. And I like the spot for the Chargers, man. So tease them up to +9. The other one I'm going to pair with that, the New England Patriots on Monday night going against the Buffalo Bills. I know we talked about it on Tuesday. You were on the Bills. But yeah, I got to, at 2.5 points, I think it's wise, man. Tease them up to 8.5, that being the Patriots. It's the best team in football right now. They're riding high. Don't want to get in the way of Bill Belichick. I think that he's going to scheme against Josh Allen. We've seen how inaccurate that guy's been. He's been pretty turnover prone and against a really good defense. I like where Mac Jones is headed, and this team can definitely run on the Buffalo Bills. So 8.5 points, I like it.
All right, I have a lot to say about those two picks in good and bad ways. So it actually relates to a lot of my top 5 against the spread bets. My number 2 on the board, Buffalo -2.5, and my number 4 pick is Chargers +3.5. So we agree a little bit. We're a little disagree. I'll go into the Chargers first because that's what you talked about first. Yeah. +3.5. I think that's a great number. 3, I'd still bet it. I'm going to bet a little bit on the money line. Why not? This seems like a back or forth, total 50-50 type of game. These teams are very similar. Actually, if I had to compare one team to the other, like they're perfect matches. So exactly. Give Cincinnati their home field. We know that home field in the NFL right now is worth 1.5 or 2. It's not the normal 3 anymore, especially in Cincinnati. So I think there's a point of value, at least on the Chargers here. Perfect time to sell the Bengals. This is as high as they're going to get all year. Chargers, everyone saw that game last week because there was only 3 in the afternoon. They got absolutely destroyed by the Broncos defense. Herbert, a couple turnovers, throwing the ball like a rocket 5 yards ahead of him to Eckler, bounces off of his head for a pick 6. Not what you want to see, but I think the Chargers can get this done and win in this spot. As for Buffalo, well, I agree with you.
As for Buffalo.
Well, it's tough because I agree with you that plus 2.5 to plus 8.5 is a great move, especially in a total. Totals at like 41.5, 42 right now. We're expecting a little weather in Buffalo. 80% chance of snow right now. So 8.5, that's going to be super valuable. I'll probably end up betting that. But I think that to give the Bills less than a field goal at home, given their ceiling is so much higher than the Patriots, especially playing at home, right? The Patriots have to play a certain way to win games. The Bills can play multiple different ways to win games. I don't like that. We talked about this on the Wednesday show, but I don't like that the Patriots gave up so many yards and so many drives that went a certain distance, getting over the 50-yard line past half field against the Titans last week. I think that their defense, despite they shut them out in the second half, but they were getting yards all over the place. It was just turnovers and bad luck and missed field goals and whatever. I think that Buffalo is in a position where they can actually score more than we would think against the Patriots. I think 2.5 is the right play here. And you're not going to look, everyone's all over the Patriots, and for good reason, probably. But this is the apex. I don't know if they get much better than this. Buffalo has not hit that yet. I'll take the chance on Buffalo getting it done in a game that they desperately need in this division now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think to counter that, I think Buffalo's gotten away with some really wide margin victories against some bad teams, and I think it's kind of propped them up a little bit. This is going to be the true test of the AFC right here. I mean, we see that the Kansas City Chiefs are surging, but this is going to be a huge statement game for the Bills. They need to beat a legitimate team. So if they're going to rally, they're going to rally at home. And we know how Buffalo is in November. I think this is going to be, a crowd that's going to be super hyped up. And we haven't seen much out of Mac Jones in terms of pushing the ball down the field. He's been pretty conservative. He likes the short passes. He's getting the ball out quickly. So I'd be curious if Buffalo can get out to a lead here and see if they can force Mac Jones to have to force the ball down the field and see how he does. Because really this team is predicated on the run. If they could stop that run, maybe he gets a couple 3-and-outs, it could be an interesting game.
Yeah, I think that the key for Buffalo, and it's probably a prop I'm going to bet, is last week against New Orleans, they decided, okay, let's run Josh Allen. We know that our running backs stink.
Yeah.
Breida's been okay early on in games, but the running backs stink. Our best ability is Josh Allen running the ball and opening it up in the passing game. The Patriots traditionally have not done that well against running quarterbacks. It is very difficult to stop. Bill Belichick in every game wants to stop one thing. You can scheme against a wide receiver and a tight end. It's really hard to scheme unless you're going to put a man right inside the box to watch him at all times against a running quarterback. Well, if you put a guy there and you're opening up for Allen, Allen's good enough to throw this in the air and find Stephon Diggs. So I think it's going to be a bit of an issue for this Patriots defense. I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo wins. Well, obviously, I'm not going to be surprised if they win the game. I think it'll be tight. It's going to be low scoring. I want to say that Buffalo could run away with it, but they'd have to play a perfect game in order to do that. So I'm not going to say that.
I'm curious to see if Belichick can manage to stop Stephon Diggs. He's been pretty quiet this year for the most part. He started out great, but he hasn't really met the expectations of fantasy managers yet. But if there's one guy they're going to stop, it's got to be him, because I'm not really expecting Emmanuel Sanders to be like this game-changing guy. Maybe we see Gabe Davis finally erupt. That'd be great to see. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how they scheme against Stephon Diggs, because he's easily the Bills' best skill position player.
All right, let's move on to whatever your next bet is. I don't know if you're on 4 or 5 at this point. The teaser's got lots for me.
Yeah, no, I haven't. So I did 2 teasers. So I got 2 teasers and then the Dolphins. So I'll go into my next one.
All right, cool.
So I'm going with the dogs, the Steelers plus 3.5 versus the Ravens. I was on the Ravens side of things earlier because, Tomlin did burn me last week. We saw the Roethlisberger really just kind of shit the bed, but Mike Tomlin as an underdog, man, 61% win percentage, 42-21-2. And Tomlin as a home dog, 12-3-2, 80% win percentage. So to me, I mean, we talked about how the Ravens tend to start out slow, and I think this is going to be the division right here, right? The Ravens have been really fortunate to eke out a couple of games by, Justin Tucker, but against the Steelers team, man, this is a team that may have some deficiencies on defense. We don't know if TJ Watt's going to play, but I don't know. Divisional matchup. I think that the Steelers are going to bring it here. And worried for the Ravens. I think this is going to be one of those tough matchups where we haven't seen a consistent Lamar Jackson. So I flipped my pick here from Tuesday. I'm going to go with the Steelers plus 3.5.
You know that I love it. This is gross. Let's get gross. So you gave out 3.5. I'm seeing 4.5s all over the place. That's the number at which I really want to bet this game. That is my number 6 pick, actually. I was flip-flopping between my 5 and 6. We talked about it on the Wednesday show, man. Like, every single game between these two teams always comes down to a field goal. It is always a one-score game. So give me the 4.5 at home. Seems like a great spot. Ravens, the only problem I have is the Ravens were so bad last week. I'm expecting a bounce-back performance a little bit, but
yeah,
I'll take the 4.5. I'll take the shot on this terrible, terrible Steelers offense.
Yeah, just got to feel like this game is going to be within a field goal, right? So this could be a Justin Tucker situation again. Like it's been that way traditionally in these matchups. So yeah, I'm good with the Steelers, and the fact that you get it, and I see now that it did move to 4.5, so even better. Give me the Steelers.
All right, my number 5 pick of the week, Indianapolis -10. This is the antithesis of what I normally do. Antithesis of what I normally do. Usually I'm on the gross side. I should say on the Wednesday show, I liked Houston a little bit in this matchup. I have seen all of the sharp money. I've listened to all of the podcasts. Your guys, Simon Hunter was the one convincing me. Action Network pod. Seems like all of the sharps are betting Indy in this game. 8.5, 9.5. I bet it at 9.5. It's at 10 right now. I'd still take it at 10. Seems like a perfect Jonathan Taylor game. I know that they're probably a little exhausted after that game against Tampa Bay, but this Houston team stinks. And I think that everything that Houston wants to do offensively, Indianapolis can be able to shut down with relative ease. And just feed Jonathan Taylor. Houston's not going to be able to stop the run in this game. Not a whole lot you have to do on offense, and you don't have to give the ball to Carson Wentz a lot. So, I think that this is going to be relatively low scoring. I kind of like the under in this game. But give me the Colts to win like 24-10. And I think that they pull out the -10 here.
Yeah, I mean, the Houston Texans gave up 157 rushing yards last week, man, and you were going up against the best running back in football. Give me the Jonathan Taylor prop overs, man. It's probably close to 100, but that seems like light work. I mean, this is a great spot for the Indianapolis Colts to kind of just run all over their division here. And
they need a win. They need a win badly.
They do. Absolutely need a win. Absolutely.
All right. You are up with your last pick of the week.
So my last pick will be another one. And I think I was on the Seattle Seahawks before, but Seattle Seahawks 3.5 versus the Niners. This is it. This is the Russell Wilson, the end of the Russell Wilson experience here. He's back at home. The Seattle Seahawks are 14-5-1 against the spread in their last 20 games versus the Niners. Kyle Shanahan as a road favorite, 2-7 against Pete Carroll in his career, and 4-15-1 as a road favorite. So I'm fading Shanahan. No Debo. What is the Niners offense going to look like without Debo? I'm going to trust in Russ to minorly cook. Maybe he finds DK Metcalf a little bit. Maybe he can find the deep ball with Tyler Lockett. No faith in their run game at this point, but 3.5 divisional matchup at home. 12th man come through. Let's go Seattle plus 3.5.
I also love this pick. I've already bet Seattle plus 3.5 and the money line. And I actually have a best bet in this game, which is over 45.5. The two matchups between these two teams over the last 7 years has averaged 49.5 points a game.
Sheesh.
You're getting a lot of value because Seattle stinks. We just talked about how we think that Seattle's going to make a little bit of comeback in this game. Give me that over 45.5. Give me the over in the first half also. I think this game is going to be exciting. A lot of scoring. Gets near the 50s. And I think that Seattle's going to end up winning this one. Give me 27-24 Seattle.
I love that. It's a great score.
All right. Other best bets that I have on the board really quickly. Washington, Las Vegas, under 49.5. Under 24.5 first half. Leaning towards Chargers, Cincy under 15.5, although I'm a little scared of both those offenses going out of control. Giants, I saw a +5 on the board earlier. If it gets to 5, I got to do it, but right now I have not. I just had that buyback situation, the 3.5 and the 3. Chicago +8 is interesting, weather dependent. There's supposed to be some weather in the area. If it gets snowy, windy, cold, maybe they don't start Kyler because of the cold and him getting more injured. Maybe he's super limited. I think that in a weather situation, David Montgomery is a better back. than James Conner is in that situation. I trust him more. I expect that to be a low-scoring game if there is weather. So look out for the weather report there. If there's snow on the ground or any sort of precipitation, I will be on the Bears at +8 or higher.
I like that. So one other one that I want to give away is the trying to get the most. Yeah. So I see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Falcons is around 50.5, 51. I'm going to take the over on that. And we talked about that on Tuesday where, we envision a scenario where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could easily put up, 30, 35 points on this team here, if not more. And, AB won't be there, but yeah, not much faith in this Falcons defense. It is a divisional matchup, so I'm expecting the Falcons to do something. Matt Ryan is somewhat capable of throwing the ball downfield. Maybe Kyle Pitts finally erupts. He's been a little bit quiet over the last few weeks, but I like the over in this game. All
right. The last one I would put on the board, and I'm just looking at this Action Network app, Eagles, Jets, over 44.5, 40% of the bets, 99% of the money with 7,600 bets on the board. I'm assuming that this line is baked lower because of the potential that Jalen Hurts won't play. If he does play, and based on the fact that you guys only scored 7 last week, I'm very tempted to take the over there. It makes a lot of sense to kind of fade the situation and expect the Eagles to put up a 30-burger on the Jets.
I would love to see the Eagles put up a 30-burger on the Jets. Am I that optimistic? I don't know. But either way, fly Eagles fly. I like them at -6.5. I'm gonna tease them down just to secure my bag. But let's go Birds.
I love it. All right, that does it for episode 36 of Gambling with Gold. We will be back next Tuesday with our Week 14 betting preview. Until then, go join all of the 7-stake contests on the Champions Round app and DMS the Bears for the surprise package. We will be giving that away on Sunday. Dan, it's been a pleasure. As always, good luck with all of your bets, and we will talk to you next week. See ya.
Peace.